Welcome to the Walking Dead reviews on What the Flick. This week we have episode 12 of season 5, Remember. Let's take a short look. All right, so in this episode, Francis and I, we were debating last week about if we should trust these people, back and forth. I guess we can trust these people.
Can you?
Or are the people we can't trust Rick and company? So I really like the juxtaposition of Rick talking on camera in the beginning and then playing it again at the end, but from a different point of view. And is it bad to say that I'm 100% on board with his plan?
100. Well, I don't know if it rises to the level of a plan yet.
I am way
I did like the use of those filmed confessionals or whatever, if only because it allowed Carol to have one of the best scenes she's had in a long time. I'm a people person. I miss that man so much.
They just take. I love how she's pretending to be weak.
Yeah.
She's doing such a good job. Like, oh, get another bin. Oh, I'm a dead mother.
A definitely candidate for best scene of the season so far. Carol walking out with her new outfit, and Daryl just looking at her and going, "You look ridiculous."
Yeah, and her threatening to hose him down in his sleep.
Wait, what's the plan? What is the large plan?
Okay, at the end, we're jumping way ahead, but we'll definitely pedal back. So Rick says, well, you know, I'm trying it out to be the constable, and if it doesn't work out, then we'll just take over.
Yeah.
Right.
So pretty much we're going to seize the power if they prove unworthy of wielding it.
Which is a good storyline for me, as I was saying to Brett. If this happens, that another antagonist comes in and takes over, I don't know if I want to watch, because I'm just sick of it happening. You know what I mean? I'm sick of the constant reciprocation of someone else coming in. I would love nothing more than to see them be the antagonist, be their own antagonist, if you know what I mean. If they're the ones that are going to threaten the stability of an environment because they don't trust the people that are around them. Because from what we've seen, yes, they're a bit dodgy going on the runs and they like to do some
Aiden
rituals.
is a douche.
He's a douche. He's definitely top douchebag now. But they seem pretty stable. They seem to have a good environment. The only people that's going to unsettle this is Rick's group, I think.
Or possibly Enid.
Yes.
I mean, Enid sneaking out makes it seem to me that she might be a plant from another group who's trying to gain information and then is going out and delivering it maybe to the wolves. After all, she had the comic book. The comic book on the back said something about wolf attack.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Which that could be a reference to the group that Noah's family had been in that said wolves here or something like that. So it may be that they want to take over Rick's group, but they may have to protect them against the wolves.
Yeah.
I think it was made clear that where I stopped reading the comics from the people who've read it in this episode. So I kind of like it now, though, because I don't really know what's going to happen. And this is a good point of view to be from. So maybe I'm not going to read the comics for a little bit. So we saw less of Aaron and Eric and more of a congresswoman who
Cool character.
to be... Do you trust her, John?
No, not entirely. Look, overall, here's the reason why I don't trust them and why I don't think that we have all the information about the group yet. If you believe, face value, everything they have said, based on what we know about this world, there is absolutely no way that they would have lasted as long as they did. They routinely would lose groups out on runs. They would not last in that regard. Any group that had guns could just hop the fence and kill all of them. And they're walking around at night, nobody's armed. You could just sneak a couple walkers over the wall and they would take out the whole community. It's been years and no one has broken in, no one has gunned them down on their runs. It's a huge wall in a neighborhood that does not seem that well protected. There's no way they would last. There has to be a secret.
And what Aaron said kind of might give away your point is that he said you have to audition for this group. So maybe this is just a big audition setting, right? Where they're just setting up an environment where you think you might be able to fit in. And as soon as they suss them out, then they change back to what they actually might be.
I mean, there's definitely a seedy underbelly to this group. As I don't know if I want to spoiler alert and say that I watched the next week on Walking Dead clips.
Yeah. I did not.
But senatress, or whoever it is, the representative or politician.
The congresswoman?
Congresswoman is asking for things from people. So this is definitely it. I would love to see that version that you guys are pitching, which is it's just our group who are the bad seed. Yeah. The PTSD people finally we get some other trope in there. Maybe it's like the soldiers returning from war. I hate the engine of zombies. I hate it. I hate that overwhelming sense of dread with absolutely no hope at all as time passes. There's no hope at all that we're ever going to fix this thing.
Yeah, you get to shave every once in a while.
I mean, yeah.
Which that had been a long time coming.
reminds
But
me.
like now, I mean, I liked the beginning of the episode where we met, the season where we met Herschel, and I like this. I finally get back in on it when we take the like random scary zombie attack out of the picture. We finally get to focus on some humanity.
This was a weirdly normal episode, like starting from when Rick gets in the shower and they realize they have electricity and like
They're playing
Carl
video
has to
games.
deal with like teen angst finally, and it's, and we see that once Rick cleans up, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, that
He
beard,
takes his
that
shirt
beard
off.
had to
What
go.
happened to-
Wavy, you know? But I like that. I felt like he was
The
buffer
the
back
women
in the
all
day.
noticed.
So that's what I'm saying. They have to make it realistic that he is in a post-apocalyptic world. He's not going to hold his guns as well as he could have, and but he happens to just take his shirt off as soon as.
Oh, he's in fine shape.
Fine shape.
Nice
for a guy.
tan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and somebody, one of the editorials I read was like, well, there's a law on television that if a woman sees a man without a shirt on, she has to sleep with him within a few episodes, which seems to be true.
Put my money
And like, especially when we saw the little shot of the cigarette smoking man,
Yeah.
like
Welcome.
something up with that.
There was a weird timeline issue I had with that. He went from him seeing that guy to in bed. Was that weird?
I
to
thought you
anybody
might have been
else?
dreaming it.
Yeah,
No.
it sounded like it might have been a dream. Like
Yeah.
maybe Rick is at a point where he can't ever take something that's given to him, not
Yeah.
that she was given to him, but like something as it is at face value.
Uh-huh.
He has to assume that there's this terrible underbelly to it, something that will come and bite him in the ass later.
Yeah.
Nothing's too good to be true.
So
Yeah.
again, I don't know if it's just an act they're putting on, but it seems like they're still behind in this world. They still hold the walkers accountable for the actions rather than trying to figure out how they adapt it to themselves. Hence why they're going on trips and trying to punish walkers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
tie them
That
up.
was
It's
stupid.
stupid.
Sorry, roamers.
The Romers, as they call them. They're like, oh,
fuck
but he
that.
killed our friend. So
That
I was
guy
just like,
was a
that was a bit
huge
too put
idiot.
on for me. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that there was a little over-exaggerated the way they tried to emphasize that they're still trying to fight these zombies when it's not exactly the zombies you need to be fighting anymore.
And
It's
they're
how
doing
you adjust.
flares and whistles and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They wouldn't last with those tactics.
Exactly. So that's what the intriguing point of the episode is do our group now become more like them and give up their strength, which Carol seems to think. She's the one that's always emphasizing. If we become more like these people, we're going to be weak. What do you guys think? Do you think that if they do kind of give in to this group's way of life, they will finally be stable, or do you think it will allow room for someone else to come in and sweep it under their feet?
Well, I do think someone's going to come in and like mess things up or shake things up
You
at
think
least.
someone
Yeah.
will come in, or you think the group will mess up themselves?
Enid's going somewhere.
I want. I think that's a really good point about Enid.
Yeah, she might have been the one who took the gun, right?
Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
Rick's gun was gone.
Either
got upset
that or
about
there's
it.
someone else from that group who's been watching
What's his name?
them.
Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan,
Oh,
maybe.
Morgan. He could always
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, he
they
was
they
back from
they throw that in last.
And by the
season.
way, I love that they're like casually talking about overthrowing the place when they know that those people routinely will listen in to their conversations from far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That
need
seems
to, like-
dangerous.
You could literally just be bugged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like they could have the residents of Alexandria could have a bigger plan, but they have allowed Daryl still has his crossbow. Rick had, I think, a machete when he was alone with the leader of the group. Like they are certainly willing to risk being killed.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. It's weird. I can't imagine that group lasting as long as they have.
enough seemingly candid conversations. Eric did
Yeah.
between like Michonne and Rick, and everyone else chiming in saying we need this.
Yeah.
So I think they're not completely foolish in risking letting someone who's armed with a machete around them because they need it. Though in the weakness category, they're measurably weaker because they've given up their guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was shown that
Including
that Glenn can knock one of them out. with
That
a
was a
straight
nice
bang.
moment.
That was a good moment.
I liked how Maggie looked so proud of
Yeah.
him.
The last point I want to talk about is how will Daryl adjust to this environment?
He
'Cause
won't.
Clearly, he is made for this post-apocalyptic world, right? He
Yeah.
fits in with this group. Now, as soon as he sees Rick in his cop outfit, he's kind of like disheartened.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a cop again. So,
Yeah.
what do you think happens to
Well,
him?
already we've seen that Daryl is the biggest liability in terms of the cover for this hatching plan.
Yes.
Because he's the one who's like, I'm not going to shower.
He starts choking them. Yeah, he won't. He has a kitchen and a dining room
I'm eating this
table.
possum.
He will not prepare
I
the
won't
possum on
shower.
it.
That was amazing.
Just guts on the floor.
Great.
Yeah.
So we'll see how well they do or do not fit into this group, or if they should next week. Thanks for watching.